a wonderful week. What a lovely thing this has been. All week long, Elvis Tribute Artist Week. We're hoping to bring Elvis back from the dead. We've done our part.
We certainly have.
This is going to be something.
Had so much going on, like all of his clothes were like, what is he wearing and how fabulous, and men don't do that, and he was very, very gentle. I felt my experience with him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you and all of these other people that we know and love, and it just seems like, well, why did we let that happen to this guy? Why did we let this happen to Janis Joplin? That they're gone. What would Jimi Hendrix be like today? I mean, he'd still be getting it done, don't you think?
I don't know, but sometimes the best thing you can do for your career is die.
We have been trying to get him on the show. We'll be right back with Cher, everybody.
Just pretend I'm holding you and whispering things soft and low, and think of me how it's gonna be, and just pretend I didn't know. When I walk away, I heard you say, if you need me, you know what to do. I knew it then, Lord, I'll be back again, and just pretend I'm right there with you. And I go flying to you, oh yeah. All the crying, Lord, is true. Oh, and I will hold you and love you again. But until then, yes, baby, we just pretend. We do, yes, we do. Oh, it's funny, but I can't recall the things we said while you were crying. But now I know it was wrong to go on, 'cause I belong here by your side. And I go flying to you, oh yeah. All the crying, Lord, is true. Oh, 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 and I will hold you and love you again. Oh, but till then, we just pretend. Until then, we just pretend.
Come on. You can do better than that.
Let it out. Madam. Atta girl, let it all out. We love you, baby.
There you go. Come on, baby. Big girl. Keep talking, man. Mad? That's it, girl. Say it louder. Mad? Very good. You say it as loud as you can. Mad.
Oh, Amanda, we love you.
Love you. Love you. Love? Love?
Love
You?
you.
Love you. Love you. Love you.
Love you.
Yes, that's a big girl. Big girl. Big girl.
Big girl.
Yes. Yes, right.
I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my faith? Lord, do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts are running through my head, and I feel the love is there, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me. When I come to call, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. When I'm feeling weak and my pain walks down on a one-way street, that's right, baby, I look above and I know I always be blessed with love. And as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh through my bones. And when the love is there, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me. When I come to hold, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. Lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it I'm loving angels instead.
I think Elvis is the true American story. Born into poverty, rising to great heights of fame and wealth, losing his money, losing his life.
When you think of all the people that made things happen for Elvis, it was always a woman.
Gladys Presley was the only true great love of Elvis's life. All of the other women were simply stand-ins.
That special love that he and Gladys had, I think it was something he never was able to get again. It was always the two of them depending on one another.
I'm fascinated to look at photographs of Elvis and Gladys, even when they're with other people. He's always very close to her. He's either sitting very close to her on a couch, or he has his arm around her, or he's holding her hand. He never for a second lets her feel that she is unprotected or apart from him. When they're photographed with Vernon, Vernon is standing apart from them. Vernon is always an outsider in his own home.
Elvis most likely suffered emotionally and mentally from not having a strong father figure growing up. And then you have to realize, as soon as Elvis started making money, he became the father, he became the man of the house. Vernon never worked at another job.
As Elvis became famous, Gladys was reluctant to share her son with the world.
Just as Elvis could not live without Gladys, Gladys could not live without Elvis. And her death seems to be no accident. She's so fretted and feared his going overseas that her health began to take a turn.
Young Elvis supplanted his father as the head of the household, forging an emotional union with his mother, in which the ghost of Jessie, Elvis's dead twin, was ever present.
With rural families, you often see a kind of reliance on superstition or an abeyance to superstition, that the fates and the events of one's life are beyond one's control.
There's a mystery about twins, and to some degree, some superstitions.
Elvis was a surviving twin, the only child. This was indelible, branded on his brain, on his soul.
The twin is stillborn or the twin dies young, and it leaves the surviving twin feeling guilty that somehow he has banished his brother, killed his brother or sibling, and also guilty for the sadness, the extreme grief and sadness that this has fostered upon the family.
The fact that he was a twin, he felt he lost. Whether he felt he lost half of himself or a big part of himself. But yes, it was something that the family talked about. And perhaps if they had not dwelt on it so much, he wouldn't have had such deep feelings.
When Elvis was born, there were 2 bottles sitting on the mantle that night, that early morning, and one of them broke. The other remained whole. One of the twins died at birth. Vernon always said that when he saw the bottle explode, he knew that meant that one child would die and one child would live.
He might have died as a newborn, but he was still a part of that family, and no other baby came along to take his place.
A lot of twinless twins are substance abusers. A lot of them try to commit suicide. They indulge in activities that are risky. They indulge in activities that they know sooner or later will take them out of this world, which is what secretly I think a lot of them hope for, that perhaps they will be reunited with their twin on the other side.
Elvis would say, well, if I had a brother, if Jessie had lived, Mama wouldn't worry about me so much if she had another child here. Or I think I would have been given more freedom when I was young if Mother hadn't felt the loss of Jessie so much.
When Elvis went to school, when he was 11, 12 years old, his mother would walk him. She was so protective of Elvis because she had her own feelings and her own guilt about losing one child.
He and Gladys would go to Jessie's grave quite frequently, and they would talk to him Gladys, too, would talk to Jesse at home as if he were still living in the house.
When Elvis is a kid, on the way to the swimming hole, wants to cut through the cemetery and pause at his brother's grave, and is silent and meditative, and this is a school friend, a childhood friend telling this story, that notices it then, that's out of the ordinary.
Elvis's spiritual search for his lost brother was never-ending.
As Elvis grew older, as he entered into his 30s and 40s, he would find secret messages from Jesse in the Eastern religion teachings, the books that he read. He would underscore those passages and see them as messages from his twin. Jesse was speaking to him beyond the grave and giving him some sort of advice on how to find himself again, how to live his life and right himself. We know now, indisputably from studies, that babies in utero do respond to music, that they literally dance in the womb to music. And Gladys, during her pregnancy, went every day to the Assembly of God church. She didn't have money to go for other kinds of entertainment. And so she would go to church every single day. And certainly Jesse and Elvis would have been literally dancing in the womb.
I think Jesse was always with him. And I think there was always a void because Jesse wasn't with him physically. I also think he felt he had to live twice as hard, do everything twice as big, because he was living for two.
Somewhere in the distant night, I hear Christmas bells. The gentle snow keeps falling down on people who are homeward bound. That's the way it's always been. The circle never really ends. Christmas seems to come and go, but home's a place that I don't know. Holly leaves and Christmas trees, it's that time of year. Lights aglow and mistletoe won't mean a thing when you're not here. As I walk this lonely street, the sound of snow beneath my feet, I think of how it used to be, with holly leaves and Christmas trees used to mean so much to me.